Hey guys, welcome to SuttyTrades. So I just want to ask a question before I even get into it. How many of you does this kind of ring a bell with? You find a strategy that looks really good. You find it on YouTube, you find it through another mentor, whatever, and you've seen the results they've got, or you've seen them do a back test and the results look amazing. So you're like, okay, I'm going to give this a go. You start using the strategy, whether it be on a demo account or a live account, and initially maybe things don't go as well. You take a few losses, you don't get the same results, and then you're like, hold on, this is rubbish, and you kind of just bin the strategy and you go back to the source or wherever you went before to find a strategy. Search the web, whatever it is, and you find a new strategy, and you kind of just this kind of becomes a repetitive sort of cycle that you never really get on top. You never really get that strategy that is consistent. And that I was in that boat, and I kind of still am, to a certain degree. But I've got to a point where I know why this happens. I know why the cycle happens. So because I know why, it's kind of easier to get out of it, or just do what I need to do to make sure that a strategy is over the long run is making money. And that's the whole point, guys. I think a lot of people don't give it time, or one of the most important things, like the strategy, any strategy or most strategies will be consistently profitable if you give them time and if you understand. You have to understand the strategy you're using, right? If you don't fully understand the strategy you're using, then it's very difficult to go through those losing patches, because every strategy is going to have its winning areas and its losing areas. Where you have like loads of wins in a row, and then you have loads of losers in a row. Sometimes you start midway through the good wins and you're like, oh yeah, this strategy, yeah, I'm happy, the strategy is doing well. And then you hit a losing patch where you kind of lose everything you've just won. And then that's when you stop, you give up there. You don't give it time to come back, and I think one of the most important things with any strategy is to backtest it. Backtest it yourself to get an understanding of what the win rate is, and try and be consistent with what you're risking and what your reward is. If you are managing trades, or you're closing partials or whatever, try to be consistent with how you do that. If you do that based on price action, that's fine, that's different. But still, get an idea of what your average partial out is, what your average win is, Get an understanding of that. For me, my strategy is very basic. If you guys watch my previous video, you'll see that I've basically gone over the strategy I am now using. I only look for a 1 to 2. So for every 1 I risk, I'm looking for getting two out. And I've just now finished I'm on about 50, 55 trades. I'm looking to do way more in terms of backtesting. And that's one of the things about this video that I really want to go over, is how you backtest, how to backtest, what is the correct way to backtest. One of the things is, let me just go to TradingView here. So one of the things with backtesting, right? I think majority of people will come to TradingView, right? I use TradingView to backtest. I would say the best way to backtest is if you could get hold of some kind of simulator where you're trading as if it were real time. You're actually putting in trades, you're putting in your risk, you're putting in every parameter that you would trade on a real account. But if you cannot do that, or if you're not willing to spend the money to do that, you would come to TradingView. Now the thing with TradingView, right? Let me just clear this. This was one of the last tests I just did. Let me clear all that. The thing with TradingView, right, is you say, okay, I'm going to go back to, let's say over here, I'm going to use the replay tool. Let me just go back. Okay, so I'm going to go to here and I'm going to use the replay tool. So already, where you're picking, like let's say I pick here, already in my peripheral vision, I am aware what price is kind of doing, right? I'm aware of what's going on. And whether you like to admit it or not, I would say 95% of people that backtest using TradingView, I'm not saying they cheat, but I am saying there's always an element where they're doing something based on something they've seen already. You know, it's so easy to go back and do something, or they'll place a trade and then they'll see it going wrong and they'll be like, oh no, hold on, sorry, I would have actually placed it here. You know, if you were in a live market, you would have already been in. So you've got to be, number one, try not to cheat, because the only person you're cheating at the end of the day is yourself. Because you want to get as close to the real life results as you can, right? Because when it comes down to understanding what percentage, what your win rate is, the more realistic that is, the better it's going to be when you go to a live account. So a lot of people will say, okay, I'm going to replay here. Okay, there we go. They're already seeing what's happening, right? They're already seeing, okay, down the line, they are going to have a big downtrend, right? So then they will kind of like, okay, I'm going to put my 4 hour up here. So I trade on, I'm just doing my trading strategy as an example, right? They were already aware that it did go up, right? So let's see. So they kind of like go through price. One thing you got to realize is you're going through many, many days here as well. So you can't just tap. You've got to take it slow, play it through like it is a day, a live trade, whatever. So now you'd get your hand to say, okay, now I'm going to go down to the 15 minute, and I'm going to wait for me, it's like a break of structure, right? So I would say the low I'm looking to break first of all is there. And then you play through blah, 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 blah. A lot of times what people do is they'll go so fast. So right, there's now my next break of structure is here, for example. They go so fast. They're like just playing through time, like you know, it's nothing, like you have control of time. And then they're waiting a second. Price got broken and actually it was up there. So actually my previous low was there and it was broken over here. Ah, shucks, I've gone too fast. But I would have, so what I would have done is, because that break of structure was there, I would have marked this up over there. So this is still valid, you know, and you kind of talk yourself into something when you've already seen what's going on. So you're like, okay, yeah, I would have taken the 20% there, and at that point the 15 was 65, so I would have been on about a 6 or a 7 stop. So yeah, there I'm looking for a 1 to 2. Oh, that's awesome! It hit 1 to 2, perfect. And then you go to your thing and you mark it in, right? So you count that as a win. But you were playing through time so fast. You had all the stuff. You kind of you're cheating yourself. You're fooling yourself to say that in a live market I would have gone in there, right? So let me run through my next back test. So I'm in the process of back testing, as I said. So I base it off alerts. So I'm going back in time on the alerts that I was given. I use a group that I get alerts, and the alerts are basically, it's not signals. It's just showing when 4-hour OBs are hit, and then I decide if I want to trade it or not. So I don't want this video to be too long, but I just want to show you that it is so important to trade your back test like you would trade live, and don't cheat, don't fool yourself, because you're going to get results that are not realistic. And then you go to the live market and you don't understand, why is my win rate so much lower? Why am I losing more? It's because in live you don't know what's coming up. You cannot play back. You know, you don't have control of time. When you backtest, you have control of time. It's a powerful thing, but don't fool yourself. So let's go to what would have been my next backtest. So I've got to go to the, I think it's the 20. Let me just look at mine. So let me show you. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me just quickly see if I can show you my. I've already got one. Sorry guys, never mind. I have already got a plan. Okay, so this is the back test I've done so far. So let me just go to this quickly for you guys. And if you look over here, I'm constantly tracking. I have had 54 trades, 28 wins, and 26 losses. Okay, don't worry about all this stuff. This is just ideas. In this, I'm risking 0.5. I'm basing this on a $10,000 account, as if it were a challenge, for example. But I don't really care about the profit and loss. I care about this, the win rate, right? And if you look over here when I first started, and then I had lost. Look, in the first 10 trades, I think my win rate was only about like maybe 40%. So I would have already been like, if that was live, I would have been like, nah, I'm kicking this. This is rubbish. It's not giving me the 55% that they showed on the YouTube video. So I'd already kicked the strategy. And even here, look over here. Then I had a nice run of wins. Then I had loads of losses in a row. Then I look at these wins over here. So if you started here, you'd be like, this is the best strategy yet. So this is why it's so important to trade a strategy long term and truly understand the win rate for that strategy, right? So this is where I am now. The 24th of Feb is where I was. So let me go back to there. All right, so I'm just going to go back to the 25th of Feb on the group where I get the alerts. And I'll run through exactly how I traded, right? You guys might see right in front of you here, you might see 2 losses. You might see the first one. Whatever it is what it is, right? That's how it would have traded. My last one was Euro USD. I'm just going to find what the next trade is. Euro USD. Okay, so Euro CAD is my next alert. Let me just mark it up for you guys. So now, first thing first, what I'll do is I start on the 4 hour, so I make sure I'm on the 4 hour. I go, let me just check what it was, Euro CAD. So I go Euro CAD, right? The first thing I do is I don't even pay attention to anything. It doesn't matter because I don't know where in time I'm actually going. I scroll this down to the point that price is like a flat line. So I now have no idea it's going up. I can see red and black, but that gives me no indication of how strong or weak a trend is, right? Then I will go to the date, the 24th of the 2nd. That shows me where it is. I now have no idea. Even if I try and remember, I cannot remember what price was doing there. So doing it this way, I give myself the best chance of not fooling myself or not cheating myself, right? Once I've gone back, then I go back to seeing all the candles. And then I'm going to mark up the order block that I was given, okay? Right, so this was the order block, okay? And I go through slowly. So I use the 4 hour still. I go through slowly until I tap into there. Right, that's it. Now I go to the 15 minute, okay? And now my strategy, how I do it is I wait for a break of the previous high, okay? And I've gone over how I choose my highs. I'm not going to go over everything now. This is more just to show you how I backtest, right? So now what I do is, all I'm doing is I'm waiting for that to break, but I'm also watching for the next high. Okay, that's broken now, okay? That has broken now. So now what I've got to do is I've got to decide where am I going to draw my order block from? Where do I think price is going to come back to, okay? So if I look at this one over here, where did price first really start moving from? You could say this one, but that was an order block there. I give myself 2 trades per pair, right? So first off, I try and just make sure that I'm choosing the right place to go from, right? We had like a push, but a back down, and then we had a push up from there, right? So I would say I would like to see price come back to this area here. There is still a big imbalance there, but let's see. If it loses, it loses, right? At the end of the day, I've got to play this. Actually, sorry, I'm going to use this one. I've got to play this as if I was in a live market here, right? So this is my first trade. I'm already getting ready to enter it, okay? I would look at going there, and at the moment the ATR is 143, so 14, so let's take it at a 15. So I'll do it about 15, and now I look for a 1 to 2, right? That's it. That's it. Win or lose, I've entered that trade. I cannot back out of it now. No matter what price does, no matter what anything happens. Before I get tagged in, I can still change my mind as if I were in a live. If price does something really out of the thingy now. Okay, so we are in now. I like that rejection. There's nothing I can do. I'm in this trade, right? There's nothing I can do about that now. I'm out, right? I've lost that trade. So now what I will do is I'll go to, let me just show you guys so you can see this as well. So now I go to my Euro CAD, right? Okay, so I go Euro CAD first. You see how many times this happens? I lose the first, right? I take my loss, 50, that doesn't matter so much, and then I will go to my second trade, right? And this is important, guys. Take the losses in your backtesting. Backtesting, I think a lot of people think they are invincible when they backtest because, you know, they keep winning, but they're cheating. Right, so now we go to second. So now with my second, I've got to decide, as if I were in a live trade now. I'm going to remove this now because we've already lost it. I don't want to clutter on the screen. So now I've got to decide. We're pushing down quite heavily now. Now, I think because we have such a hard push down now, I would actually like to see the next high get broken before I'm interested, because this is a big, strong move. You know, I could say something like this. It's not an order block, but I could take this last little candle before we really pushed up. Let me quickly just, sorry, I wasn't showing you trading view. Okay, that was my next trade. As you can see, it stopped us out. That is what it is, right? I take 2 losses. If this was a live account, that is how it is, right? I take 2 losses. Look like there, I've taken 4 or 5 losses in a row before. That is what it is, right? So now I go to there again. Second trade is another loss, and -50, right? So that is what it is, guys. Mark this up, and I go to there. So now we're on 56 trades, and we are on 28. So we're now at pretty much a 50, and this has danced around. I've been all the way down to 40%, and I've been up to about 55%. Now we're on a 50-50, right? 50% win rate, which is still, I'm still happy with that. And this is kind of where it's dancing around. So, you know, that's how it goes. So let me do one more. I don't want this to be too long for you guys, so let me just do one more. I'm sorry I didn't show you where I was like marking everything up there. So this one I definitely will. Okay, so let's see what the next alert was. NZDJPY. Okay. So now I go back to the 4 hour. I can go out of this time with the back thing. I'm just going to delete this because we don't need it. Okay, so NZDJPY. So exactly the same, guys. NZDJPY. As soon as I hit enter, straight away, I'm just going to delete this because we don't need that. I'm straight away going to do that. And I don't know at what point my thing is going to, where my arrow is going to be. So go 24th, and it's all the way back over there. So we go to the replay tool, and this is really important, guys. Just, you know, don't lie to yourself. With back testing, you want to be as like close to the real thing as possible, because otherwise there's no point, you know. Okay, so this, I think this right here is the order block. Just make sure you guys can see what I'm seeing. Yes, you can. Okay, so that's the order block, guys. So let's go. Now we play through until. Okay, so that pushed all the way through. That's tapped in. Now I'll go to the 15-minute. At the moment, this is the high right here. So we, you know, I don't think it's going to break it. Now it's just being patient. So okay, now we have another high right here, guys. We're waiting for this to be broken. Okay. Okay, let's push down again. This now is our new high. I want to see this get broken. Thank you. Okay, we have had a break there, guys. Okay, so now how I can play this, sometimes I'll take both my positions on one, because I have this candle right here for me is definitely an area that I think price will come back to, right? So I will mark this up as my first trade. Go to there, and we're looking at about another 15 of my stuff. 15, and we're looking for 1 to 2. Okay, that's the first one. Let me just move this over a bit, make it smaller. The second one, I'm already going to mark up the next. So just before that all kind of started, that's what I was looking at over there, right? But there is a lot of liquidity here as well. There's potential for price to push down and grab that. So I've got to decide, do I just stick to that, or do I kind of go somewhere in the middle, like grabbing, marking that candle, or whatever. I could do something like this, where I grab that, and I just go to the bottom of that, right? Whether this will work or not, I don't know. Or I could wait for the next. But this is where you make your decision now, and you stick to it. This I'm going to go 60. Okay, so that's it. That's how I'm playing it, guys. Let's see how this plays out. So now we go slowly through time, see what happens. Is it going to tap us in? Okay, we're in now. Let me just move this to where we were tapped in. Move this now. Okay. We are in, guys. Zoom out of it. You guys can see what's going on now. Make sure you guys are watching. Okay. Okay, there we go, guys. See, these, I really do like these like rally-based rally candles like this. So that was first trade, we have the winner, okay? So just like that, let me just show you guys. We go back to our spreadsheet. This is NZDJPY. NZDJPY. I can say first, I don't need to say first. It's obvious. This is the winner. We've made that back. Okay, let me just go back here. We are now on 57 trades, 29 winners, and 28 losers. So that's pretty good. Roughly, let's say 51% to 49. Roughly. Okay. So there we go, guys. That's 57 trades, and that is exactly how I do it, guys. And it's so important. Go back to this. It's so important, guys, that you don't lie to yourself when you're backtesting, especially if you're doing it with the replay feature on TradingView, because it's so easy to see what price has done. To have that knowledge is power, right? As I say, knowledge is power, and with TradingView, it's so true. Once you've seen what price does, you cut price, you go with a replay back, but you've kind of already seen what price is doing. So you're kind of lying to yourself. When you backtest without, you do it without having any kind of thing influencing you. Try to take all that influence out of the picture. And that's why I do that, where I go to my thing and I drag this down straight away, so I have no idea where the trends are, what's happening, right? It's the first thing I do. I go to my chart on the 4 hour, I drag it straight down, and then, another thing you could do to actually even make it better is you could do this, which I have done in the past. Let's just go back to the 4 hour, close this. Wow, look at that. On that second one, look at that second one, guys. Oh, have a quick little look here. Bow, 1 to 20, easy. We're ready to go. All right, I would already take 1 to 2 minutes anyway, because that's the strategy, right? Gotta stick to your strategy. Okay, so some people might say, yeah, but on the 4 hour, you know that you're roughly around the 24th of Feb, so you can see it's going up. Okay, fair enough. Go to your time, go to 1 minute. Maybe a 5 minute, because mine won't go that far back, right? 5 minutes. On a 5 minute, I don't know, like I can't even see that day, right? And already drag it down on a 5 minute. Drag it all the way down on a 5 minute, right? And then go to, from here you go to 4 hours, it doesn't matter, I'm still gonna have that. That doesn't matter, I don't have an idea of where my trends are, and you go to your time that way. So that way you have way less chance of getting any idea of what price is doing, where you're cutting, where you're going back to. You get your price, you go back to it, and then you just double click to get everything back. So now you're playing it as if it's real time. Yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to kind of go over this video is, so many of the strategies we use are good. It's not the strategy that is the problem. It's us not truly understanding the win rate of that strategy or not having back tested. I'm only on 57 trades now. I want to get to like at least 250 with this. And that's what I've been doing. That's why I've not traded for a little while. I'm kind of just really concentrating on this big, massive back test now. I want to get a minimum of, let's say, 100 to start, but I'm looking at about 250 to get a real idea. And I'm already seeing that, we are really fluctuating around that 50% mark. So for me, a 50% win rate with a 1 to 2 is perfect. I can trade that all day long. I'm happy to take that to the market. I'm happy to take that to a live account. And I am looking at starting the challenge again on Monday. And this is exactly the strategy I will be using. So make sure when you come to those entry points, based on whatever your strategy, whatever your rules are, trade it as if you were in a live account, guys. If you were trading your own, if you were trading someone else's money, like make those decisions based on the fact that a loss is going to hurt you, right? And you are going to get losses, but the more real you're being to yourself on those back tests, the more real your results are going to be, and the more you can trust them on a live account. And that's it, guys. Don't fool yourselves. Don't lie. We all want to win, right? So when we have any kind of thing in our favor, we're going to take that. But don't, because you're just going to screw yourself in the future. So anyway, that's it, guys. That's all. If you want to check out the video, my last video, which is going more in depth over the strategy I use. It's a very simple strategy based on order blocks. I've kind of refined it right down to the most simple version of the order block strategy. I've tried so many different variations, and if you have been in this channel for a while, you've seen, I've got 2 free retakes on the My Forex funds. Haven't quite been able to get there, but it's just because I'm kind of playing around too much. I'm still fiddling around. I'm now moving forward on the next My Forex funds. I'm trading this strategy. I want to get at least 3 trades in every day. That's my target based on this. Win or lose, I'm just trading my strategy. If I lose in the end of the day, it is what it is, right? But I'm feeling more confident going into it because I have kind of got these backtest results to go on. I'm kind of feeling more confident the more I backtest. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was, somewhat insightful. I hope it helps you when you go to your backtests. Backtest, and do it truthfully. Be true to yourself. Don't lie, guys. Don't fool yourself because it's just gonna hurt you further down the line. Okay. Anyway, guys, we will catch you guys in the next video. Peace and bye for now.